Hey guys, I'm Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network. If you are watching live, please let me know if you can actually hear me because I haven't done this in a while where I've had to share my screen and me talking at the same time. I'm hoping that I'm able to do it this way. So if you could drop a comment below to let me know, that would help, or I'm just going to go and check on it on my own YouTube. Let's see. Oh, good. You can hear me. Fantastic. Okay. All right, guys. So I know there's a lot been going around, and I am going to address some of that at a later time. I'm working on it. I've been sharing things over on TikTok of my story with the Blanchards and how I got involved and how I came to see that I have a different opinion than a lot of people. And I did not going to show medical records tonight. I did want to share with you guys. I showed the other night that there are three large binders that I have like this. And yes, they are gypsies. She did sign for them, and we will be going over for them. If you would like to at least hear what is in them, you can listen to our 13 episode podcast on the Good Wives Guide to True Crime. I'm not going to take questions tonight. If you guys want to drop them in here, that's fine. But the only way I can get through this video is to stay with the video. I don't know if we'll watch the whole 4 hours tonight. Probably not. Um, so this is the entirety of what we have been given. So I'm going to explain to where we got this from, how we got it, and why we have it. We are not the only ones that have it. It is available under the Freedom of Information Act. We procured it, though. The story behind this video. God, guys, I'm sorry. It's been a hell of a couple of days. So I'm having a really hard time with all of this, but I really feel it's important because I do think that she is a dangerous individual. And I understand that what she went through was horrific. It is medical child abuse. It absolutely is. You can, Munchausen by proxy, malingering by proxy, con artist. It doesn't really matter which way you shake it. It is medical child abuse. But okay, the thing with all these diagnoses is that people want to throw around these labels confuse people as to what this really is because it speaks to the motives of why people do things. And it is not a mental illness, especially Munchausen by proxy, which is somehow been attributed to the victim instead of the perpetrator. Do you see where it gets muddy? That's why when speaking with an expert today, which I will be working on, working on hopefully speaking with a couple more. I spoke with an investigator. He's not a medical doctor. He was an investigator that I spoke with today. And that's what he and I spoke about. I asked him what was the difference between someone who is in a con artist family, which is what I suspect that this is, and a I know, guys. I'm not gonna look, guys. I'm gonna turn off the chat for me. I won't see it, okay, unless when I start to play this, I'm gonna check one more time in the comments so that I can see if you guys can still hear me as I stop and start. But I'm not gonna pay attention to a lot of the comments because it just, like I said, it confuses me. But let me go back, okay? When I talked to him today, he was explaining to me that the best way to use the term, and they use this in court, and that's why they use it, because people that are not, trained professionals, people who do not have degrees in psychology or criminology or any of those things, and please, I have a good understanding of this case. I have an actually, I'm not going to say that. I have a major understanding of this case. I do not have a major understanding of Munchausen by proxy or factitious disorder imposed upon another or any of the other labels you want to give it. I understand what medical child abuse is, and he told me that's what I should go ahead and say that that's the way it is. It's the best term to use. They use it in court. They understand that. Makes the most sense. And you know what? I agree with him. I can go ahead and say that yes, I agree. Medical child abuse is what it is. He also said that medical fraud could be running at the same time that medical child abuse is happening. And I explained to him that it is my opinion that there are doctors involved. And I am concerned for that these doctors are still practicing. Not only are they practicing, but some of them are heads of very, very big departments. I think it's scary that they were able to do all these things to her. And whether she knew or didn't know or participate or anything else, they did these things. Or they billed for doing these things. I cannot decipher either way until I have a medical doctor to look at these, which I have made a call out, a medical doctor that is that experience in Munchausen by proxy. I have a call out for that. I'm hoping that they will actually take a look at these files, because even Dr. Feldman has not taken a look at these files, which is what I previously called him out for. But I mean, he's going off his expertise as a, an expert in this, and I don't know if he had access to a little bit, but what he said is, I never looked at the files and never spoke to her. So I thought that was a bad way to make a determination of it being the worst case of Munchausen by proxy. We are going to actually cover a very, very horrible case of Munchausen by proxy, or, well, let me just stop saying Munchausen by proxy, medical child abuse. We're going to cover a terrible case of medical child abuse in the next couple of weeks, because that child lost their life, and we have personal information in that case. So it's sad. Gypsy survived what she went through, and either way, being taught to be a con artist, being taught to manipulate, lie, steal, fraud, all of the things that's what she was taught, and she was only taught those things. That's child abuse. That is child abuse. But I have questions of the legitimacy of different things. Gypsy herself admits, guys, that her mother taught her to lie without conscience. And that's what this is. And it is a generational thing. And it is often generational in types of cases that are like this. So I'm hoping to get some more clarity on that as we continue to work through this. Guys, a lot of what we went through, we spent 2.5 years being the biggest, the baddest supporters. We went after anyone who said a horrible thing about any of them, the hardest. We went to the FBI at one point because we were being stalked. They were being stalked and harassed by the same person, to only find out that she turned around and went to those people. They went to those people. They had stalked us. They had bashed her. They had put out pictures. This person is Natasha Cooper, and she put out all kinds of stuff that was horrible about them. And we blocked them and went and did all this. And I found out 3 years later, I don't know, that it was Christy behind a lot of it. And that broke my heart. And at that point in time, we had already been collecting a bunch of evidence, and we were already in the midst of figuring out everything. And when I found out that it was her, I had just come back to talking to her after so many hurt things. And yes, my life was threatened. And yes, they did say they would blackball me. And guess what? They have. They're doing their damnedest to shut me up. All right. I've talked about all of that enough for tonight, though. Let's get into this here. Sorry, guys. All right. Okay, I can answer that, SL Connolly. I will tell you that as far back as five, there is evidence that Gypsy herself was participating. But again, please understand. Okay, yeah, I will share this. As the MVP expert today explained to me, the way that he classifies this, because as well as Munchausen by proxy being in the DSM-5, it is not classified as a mental illness, just like pedophilia. And yes, I said that word. I'm sure we don't get monetized on it anyway. So, but pedophilia is in the DSM-5 as well, but it is not a mental illness like that. It is something that they are obsessively doing. And he explained to me the motivation is almost exactly the same, in that thank you for subbing. I appreciate it, guys. Please share as much as you can, guys. We're just trying to get the story out there. They can't silence me forever because you know what? I'm sorry, I've got the loudest voice in the room. And you know what? I was letting it go for a long time, guys, and I didn't share because I was trying to be respectful and tell this story in a way that I could tell it without being angry. But I am angry and I am hurt, and they woke a sleeping lion, and I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to present all of this. And if you watch, you're going to see what I see. And if you don't, then I'm just the crazy lady who's touting around the craziest idea, okay? And you can all laugh at me at the end of the day. But you know what? I don't think I'm wrong, guys, and I've got a lot of people that don't think I'm wrong. Anyway, I really appreciate the support, guys. I do, okay? If anybody is interested in becoming a mod for the channel or any of our groups, we could really use some help. By the way, there are some people that have reached out, okay? But I was trying to explain the difference, and the motivation is the same because they use the same tactics to groom their victims, and then they turn their victims into predators, and it becomes a generational cycle, just like with pedophilia. And so while Gypsy had this done to her and Dee Dee had it done to her, and I'm probably going to say Emma had her done to her, if I had to guess. I haven't seen, okay? Thank you. I don't know how to do it tonight, but I will do it. I will do it. I'll come back, okay? So it's and this isn't the only claim of this inside their family. There are other claims. There's claims of pedophilia. There's claims of there's claims of other people in the family running other scams. I was told today by a very close source that they might have run scams in Ida, and I'm like, oh my God, you can't be telling me this. I have found that there's just so much, and every day, guys, we've sat with this for 7 years. And we still don't know everything that we'd like to know. There's a whole nother piece of this in another city in Missouri that we haven't been able to get to because my best friend and partner, Christina Alapurdi, who was on the podcast with us for our 13 episodes of the first season and all the episodes of the second season, and was very important in building what we did here. She passed away in February of last year while I was struggling with COVID and was in the hospital 19 times this year myself. So we aren't just not getting the information out. First of all, we've been building the case. Second of all, we were duped for 2.5 damn years. And now, I'm sorry, guys, it's me and my daughter and Colleen. And what that really means is it's me, because both of them have full-time jobs and we don't make any money doing this. I don't get paid $5,000 an appearance. And I can prove everything that I say happened. It's your decision to take everything that I put out here, especially what happened to me. I can absolutely prove everything that happened to me and my team, and how much we have been doxxed and harassed. We have had our work called. We have had, I can't even. If you go back, you can find it all. I put some things out today. I'm going to be sharing what happened to me, what this family did to me. They have destroyed my life by all I've tried to do is actually put the word out. And I would like you all to do me a favor. For those of you that support what we're doing here, can you do me a favor? Instead of calling this the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case anymore, can we agree that this case is actually the murder of Dee Dee Blanchard? Can we all agree to that, please? Because that's what I'd really like to call it. Let's call it what it is. The murder of Dee Dee Blanchard. Thank you. All right, let's go. That's my thing. That's what I believe. All right. Okay, guys, let's see if I can get this to work the right way. Okay, and I'm going to try to do commentary at the same time. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to start here, and then I am going to scrub past this in a few minutes because she just sits here and eats for the longest time.
Yep. Okay. What do you do?
Can you hear her or any of this?
Write the letter to yourself? Yeah.
It is a little low right now. Let me see if I can make the volume go all the way up.
Do you need a break to go somewhere? Or... Yeah, absolutely. I'll say no problem. All right, thanks.
Can you hear both of us?
Are we keeping track of something here? Or... Yeah, it's just a log. Oh.
Okay.
So you're trying it's their pen, so it's their pen. All right, thank you. No problem.
All right, guys. So there's one other thing I need to pull up real quick because I want to show you something with this. You see where she's sitting, correct? I mean, they call it the closet. Lots of people here, that's what they've termed this little room because, I mean, it's about the size of a closet. You're correct. Okay, so if you're looking here, she's got a plushie here, right? She's got her little blanket. She's got, a decent little lunch here, okay? And she's eating just fine, right? Okay, I want to show you the other side of this. So let me go pull that real quick off of our channel here. Just give me 1 second, guys. I just forgive me for not having this part ready. I didn't even think about it. I was in a meeting right up until the time that I with experts and things right up until the time that I actually sat here. Okay, here we go. I've got this one too. I don't know if I can go between them. Let me see. So if I click, no, why did it do that? Darn it! Hold on. Oh, that's why I didn't click on the actual video. Okay, pause. All right. Are you, let me see if I click, can I choose a different, hold on. Hold on. Guys, I'm trying. I swear. No, she wasn't a child. She was 23. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm trying. I'm going to stop the screen and then I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to pick the one that I want to show you now. For 16 hours, Nicholas Godejohn sits here like this. I don't know how many times he gets up to go to the bathroom. It's not very many. I do believe they bring him a blanket at one point in time, but he's like sitting perched on this thing like this, just crazy. Okay, and I mean just on this little chair. I think they undo his cuffs at one point in time and put them in front of him so he can eat. And then I don't remember if they secure him behind his back again or not. It's been a long time since I've watched his, to be honest. But this is a severely disturbed autistic guy here. Okay. And here he is sitting here for 16 hours, guys. He sits and waits for, them to come. That's a long time to sit here. Yeah. And she never asks about him to the very end. He asks about her all the time. Okay, so I'm going to stop again. Now, we'll go over his at a later date. Obviously, I will be happy to do that. But here, let me get off of this one and go back. I'm sorry, guys. I know I've sat with this for so long, guys. I probably have forgot more things than you'll ever know about this case. It's hard for me to get through because every time I watch this, it's very triggering for me from my own experience with her. Not to mention, I'm going to share a little bit my reasoning for coming to this story, and this is one of the reasons why I feel that glorifying her is really dangerous. And see, a lot of the things of reasons why so many people are sympathizing with her is that they are doing exactly what I did for 2 years, and that was projecting my own issues with my mother, with my abusers, with all of that onto her own story. And Thank you. Thank you, Clicker AK. I appreciate that. Um, and there is there was so much about the story that resonated with me. And it was just something that I'm not a gullible person, guys. I have an uncanny sense of people. My biggest fault, though, is that I give people too many chances, and I want to see the best in them, even though I know that there isn't in many people that I've been around. Um, in my experience, especially with this Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, it wasn't just them. It's been hell. We've had thousands of people, tens of thousands of people at certain points in time attacking us, doxing us, doing all of this to us, making those videos, making numerous accounts all the time. And Christy was behind all of that, and Gypsy as well. She was perpetuating it by sending emails to this person, encouraging them and sharing information with them. So yes, I can see everybody's comments. I'm just not answering everybody because it distracts me. I happen to see this one as I pulled up back here, but let's get back to Gypsy. Um, like I said, there is a reason why I identified with this. And the day that I got this, I had asked for this video for 3 years, guys. I was told that HBO wouldn't give it back to them. So I said, "Can I see the HBO contract, please? Because in every document, every contract you have, when you provide materials to any type of entertainment industry person, there's a time period that they have to give back the materials, or they have to have been told that they can have them forever. Can I see the contract?" And I said, "See right here, you have a contract where they have to give it back to you." "Well, I don't want to get Erin in trouble." I said, "You wouldn't be getting Erin in trouble. You'd be asking for the things that were rightfully yours back." Then I was told that Mike's copy, her Mike Stanfield's copy, her attorney, that he lost his copy and they didn't have his copy. That an attorney at the public defender's office, lost her copy of her interrogation video, guys. He just lost it. It just was lost. I put in a FOIA request into Greene County. Um, you know what? It is my story, and yep, you are put in timeout. You don't get to talk for a minute. Sorry. It is my story to share because it's what she personally did to me. So, but yes, you should not be putting yourselves into her story unless what you're saying is that other people are doing that, because other people are doing that. And I did that for a long time. And I'm sorry if that is, I didn't ban you. No. Oh, well, I guess I banned you. I'm sorry, Rainy Days, if you were just being whatever. Sorry. Hopefully. Anyway, see, this is why I get distracted, guys. I'm sorry. I am autistic and I do have ADHD, so, sorry, guys. Anyway, okay, so I asked for it for 3 years. I got everything from under the sun from Christy. I put in a FOIA request, and the Greene County told us that they didn't have it. And I didn't know why they didn't have it. I asked the DA if he had it, and he said that he couldn't give it to us because it was still part of Nick's investigation. So I dropped it and let it go, thinking that eventually I would get it when Nick's investigation was over, right? I thought that that would happen at some point in time, but it didn't. And what happened was that I started working with an A&E producer before the A&E producer that I ended up working with and producing and being a part of the special that I was on, Killer Cases, season 1, episode 6, as a leading expert. Okay. And I did not have to send anything in to get it. I didn't send in a FOIA request for it. What happened was, is I was working with them to break a story about Nicholas and some other woman who had been seeing him, Dawn, while he was in there. No, I'll call her back. Sorry. And I basically got it from that producer because what happened was hers was the one that she was doing about Nicholas. I think it was Copycat Killers. No, that was one of the ones I did. No. Which one? Yes, Copycat Killers, the Tangled one. Yes, that is the one. I did that one with Reels channel. So it was whatever one that was about Nicholas more than anybody else. I don't remember, but I was talking to that A&E producer, and when I watched the special, I noticed that there were scenes in it that I had not seen in Mommy, Dead, and Dearest. And I said, how did you get those? And she goes, I put in a FOIA request. I said, where did you put the FOIA request into? And she goes, oh, in Wisconsin. I had never thought to look in Wisconsin. So she gave it to me, and then Tori sent in a FOIA request. That is all that ever happened. That's how we got this. So that's how we have this. All right, let's try to go back to sharing now. And I'm sorry, guys. I know we won't get through this whole thing tonight, but we'll try, okay, to get as far as I think we can. Let's see here. So I think this is this one. Yeah, okay, got it. Fantastic. All right. Oh, come on, please. Okay, good. All right, so let me go back to it. Let me move that over there. And is that Nick? That's Nick. Let me move him over there. All right, guys, here we go. So basically, she sits here for a good long time. She's eating. Outside the store, it's open. She could walk out there, but there is an officer that is sitting over here in the corner behind the store, I believe. I don't know if he's there the entire time, but he does sit there for a little bit longer. No, because she went to the hospital. That's why there's not more than a 4-hour interview. She went to the hospital. So for most of the time that she was waiting, she went to the hospital. So this is her still waiting. So she's already been checked out, guys. She was found to have no drugs in her system other than the Xanax and the pain pills that she had stolen from her mother. She had, at the time of arrest, there were no medications that she took out of the cabinet or anywhere else on her other than the Xanax and the pain pills. So her story about not knowing about cancer or whatever, I'm sorry, I don't know. I can't leave home without my pills for a day. My husband can't. I know no one that I know that takes pills for seizures can leave the house without their seizure medication. And she was not withdrawing from any of these medications either. As you can see her sitting here, she is not withdrawing from them. She would have been still in the hospital. The Tegretol alone would have given her seizures as she was coming off of them. So you can see the officer sitting over there who just moved. Okay, so as you can see, she's still sitting here just blobbity blah blah blahing. Let me get into a little further. I want to see when she starts talking to him. Let's see. No. I think she goes. Okay, here she goes. All right, and now she's asleep, guys, with the thingy over her head. Meanwhile, remember, Nick's sitting over here in a precarious little chair, locked with his hands behind his back while she sits here, just doing this. Oh, thank you. I would love to do an interview. If you'll let me know. You can reach us, and I'll be glad to talk with you about doing an interview. Thank you. All right, so here we go. This is her laying here. You know who lays down in police departments when they are waiting to be questioned, guys? Guilty people. People that know why they're there. Meanwhile, Nick is over here basically rocking in a chair and trying to remember the details that she has told him to remember, because he's trying to make sure that he gets it right. And he asks about her several times. While she sleeps, she sleeps. All right, I'm going to fast forward a little bit longer to where she's talking now, because she goes to sleep several times. Let's see. Finally here. Oh, she pops up for a second there.
Water. You're good?
Comfortable.
You're comfortable? Yeah. Good. All right, so I'll let you get back to sleep. You got a little bit of time here. All right?
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, baby voice abounding.
That's positive.
Hopefully it won't be too long now.
All right. Back to sleep she goes with her little plushie, guys. All right. Sleep. Let's go all the way over here. She's back up again. Let's see if she's talking. No, we're chewing our nails.
How many people?
Oh, here we go. Yes. Okay. So this is where she starts talking.
Uh-huh.
Let me go back just a tiny bit. Okay. There is a tale that one of her grandmothers has the same voice, but well, I used to think that was interesting, and now I just wonder because from what I understand, I mean, from what I've looked at, guys, for 7 years, this is not just a Dee Dee and Gypsy case. This is a big time case with them. This is a family that does this. This is just what they do. It's sad. It's sad Gypsy endured it, but that's what they do. All right, so she's going to start talking in a second. I don't want to miss it again, so I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys. I'm going to mute for a minute while she's talking. When she starts talking, come on, Gypsy. Um, S.L. Connolly, yes and no. It just really depends. I used to think the same thing on Nick, but no. Okay, here she's gonna start talking now, so I'll get back to that.
Oh, I got a couple. There's one in Waukesha, Maryland. I think Delfield. Those are the only ones I can think of.
I really like to see the Jurassic World. That looks
It
good.
looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I agree.
And I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm like, if I move to a place, I want to make sure that they have a movie theater. Cannot miss Star Wars.
No, that's coming out soon, isn't it?
And December 18th.
December. Couple of months. I feel like they've been talking about that for years now.
They have. And for a while, it was like rumored, and then they were like, oh, we're canceling it, and we're not going to be making them. And I'm like, oh, man.
Can you still hear her when I mute, guys?
It's almost here. A couple more months.
I'm one of those super fans that like read the books,
Really?
movies, read the comics, all
Uh-huh.
that.
You dress up when you go to the movie too?
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
that big of a super
Oh,
fan?
yeah.
Yeah?
They used to do midnight premieres where you'd go the night before,
Mm-hmm.
and well, they don't do that no more. They usually do a 7 o'clock one now on a Thursday. So.
I remember I went to the midnight showing of Harry Potter.
Oh, I was there for all of them.
There was a bunch of people dressed up for that one. Yeah. Can't say I was one of them.
Oh. Well, and
So I don't know if she tells them to hear. I don't think she will, but I can't remember. It's been so long. But okay, that's funny. All the Harry Potters, right? Hey guys, so one of the things that she was able to do as a result of all the things that her mother and her did was meet the entire cast of Harry Potter. That was one of the things she got to do. If you watch her videos, old videos of her, if they're out there, they are around. I have some of them, and I'll probably go through those eventually. She talks about the fact that when she's doing the baby voice, and she's standing in the pink with the pink hat, but she's not at Disney. This is when she's on the boat and she's standing there. She talks about that being the second time that she got to make that trip, guys. The second time that she got to make that trip to hang out with millionaires and be on a yacht. That's the second time she got to make that trip. So here we go. Let's see here.
This past January, I got a chance to meet some of the cast.
You did?
Because my mom and I went on vacation to Universal Studios.
Okay, to the Harry Potter land or
Yes, and it was the Harry Potter Expo. So I got to meet the girl that plays Luna. I got to meet the twins, the Weasley twins.
Really?
Dumbledore and Hagrid.
Wow. That must have been pretty cool.
It was. The twins are very nice. I mean, they're all very nice, but the twins actually fit their personality on the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Basically the same people?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. How was the amusement park?
Okay, she didn't just get to go to the thing. She got to have lunch with them. That's her big thing, and that was a Make-A-Wish or one of the other different charities that sent her. She didn't just get Make-A-Wish. She had a bunch of different charities that sent her on different things at different times. So, that's a very good question. I've raised that question myself. From my understanding, she was told that she couldn't stay in Missouri. She was also told that she couldn't stay in Kansas City. She was told that she couldn't go to the game, and she went to all of those things. And I guess the Louisiana parole officer told her it was just fine for her to be able to do a book tour because guys, that's her livelihood now. So there you go. All right, so she's tour guiding here for them. She's going to go ahead and give them some advice here in a minute. She's going to talk about dancing in the street.
As itself. It always
Very
looks cool.
fun.
Is it?
Very fun. There are two sections of it. One is at Universal Studios. The other one is at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, but they're right next to each other.
Okay.
And they have the Hogwarts Express that connects.
And you can see she's got the band on from the hospital, guys. That's where she was.
And take it back.
See, I told you that way earlier.
And it's a different experience each time you ride it. And they have a bunch of roller coasters. The castle ride is my favorite. It's kind of more, it's like a gliding ride, and it swoops you around, and makes you feel like you're really flying.
Okay.
And the other one is, I think it's shut down right now because it's not working properly, but the Gringotts ride.
Oh, like you're in the
Yeah.
underground and everything?
And I don't know if you remember in the part 7, the 7th movie.
When they break into it?
When they break into it and they have to kind of like go that spirally thing. Yeah. Well, they have a simulated ride like that, where it's kind of like a roller coaster and kind of simulated at the same time.
Okay.
And that was really good too.
That's cool. I'm sure all their lights and special effects are pretty exciting.
Yeah. And they also have stage acts. So they have like a singer, Celestina Warback from in the books, and she does kind of like jazzy music.
Okay.
Make another movie. Well, they're gonna be making another movie, but.
Are they?
But
So I'm just kind of going to scrub through a little bit more of this. She just kind of continues on telling him about all kinds of different things.
Got little guys running around in yellow suits everywhere.
And they have a parade. And for the parade, they have. Have you ever seen the movie Hop? It has the bunnies.
I was going to say, I'm guessing it has a bunny. But I don't think I've ever seen it.
Okay, well, they have these 3 bunnies, and they're kind of like the Secret Service bunnies that protect the Easter Bunny.
Okay.
And
like Secret Service.
right. And there's some girl bunnies, and they wear like little pink berets. And one has asthma, so she carries an inhaler. And I have.
What the heck? Huh. I don't know why it cut out right there.
Theme parks are fun. I've been on vacation, and I want to think about it. Most of the take vacation talk. You can be jealous.
Well, the best time to go to Florida is in January.
January.
Don't ever go to Disney World in December. They say Christmas is beautiful. It is, but it is the most crowded possible.
I like Disney World. It's really crowded.
Mom and I had went for Christmas Day one time, and you couldn't even see the floor.
Really? You might think on Christmas Day it would be like
Now, I want you to think about her body language here, and she does this throughout the whole thing, guys. If you can see, she's leaning in towards him, okay? And when you're leaning in towards somebody like that, it's showing you, generally it's a comfortability or it's an intimidation. It can be an intimidation. But when you're sitting like this in a conversation, it's usually because you feel very comfortable in what you're doing and you feel intimate with the other person and you lean in towards them. Now think about the fact that this is an abused girl who has no idea why she's there, right? She She is dealing with a police officer that's sitting very distanced from her, and she is very much trying to connect with him. Okay. And she's going to do this a lot when the other investigator comes and sits in this chair that you can see down here in the bottom of the screen. He's going to sit right there, and she's going to lean in towards him. Now, a natural reaction, okay, for a person that's in a situation like this, um, they would generally tend to lean back away from them because the officer is going to come in the room and he's going to lean towards her. And not knowing him, a natural reaction is to lean backwards. But when you're trying to manipulate and you're trying to do that with a person, you're matching them and coming at them in the same way, but it makes them feel like you're intimate with them, and she feels like she can share with him, and it makes him feel like he's hearing her real story. That's what she's doing. He doesn't buy it, but that's what she's doing. And this is not a professional assessment. I am not professionally assessing her. I am just, this is what my opinion I'm seeing, and I'm giving you some information of my knowledge as a person that is studying forensic psychology and deep in the understanding of this case.
Well, I thought since they showed the parade on the TV, Disney World Christmas Parade, that it was on Christmas Day that they had the parade. They filmed it like 2 months early.
Did they really? Oh, spoiler alert. I didn't know that.
And so I'm like, oh, wait, no parade?
Interesting. That's gotta be strange. Like October doing a Christmas parade.
Yeah. That's one of their little secrets.
Sure they have a lot of those.
And if you ever do get to go to Hollywood and Vine to Disney's Hollywood Studios and have dinner or lunch with an Imagineer, that's really amazing. Imagineer is who basically makes the parks, thinks of the ideas for all of the architecture, layout.
People ask, why would she go along with it? Why would she be a willing participant? And yes, a certain amount of it is grooming, but the grooming that was, I'm sorry, my dog is an idiot. That's why I was yelling off the side of it. He just gets crazy because we live on a busy street. But the thing is that I lost my train of thought because my dog barked. Great. What was I saying? Anybody want to remind me what I was going on about? No? Nobody? Thanks, guys. The one time you guys aren't responding in the chat. Okay. Okay. Motivation, grooming. Thank you, Z1Z. All right, motivation and grooming. What would be her motivation? Why would she allow them to do these things? And when we get in the medical files, if you want to go and listen to at least what was in the files, we don't read through them as much, and you can't see them because it's on a podcast. But we do read from them. But if you want to see what's in them, definitely check out the podcast. We're the only ones that actually have gone through all the medical files and put it out there of what actually was in them. But the idea here is the grooming is started with Barbie dolls, and if you sit here and I squeeze your fingers as tight as possible, don't tell them that you heard the beep on the thing in your ear. She convinced them to let her go back. Sit in this wheelchair when we're out in public, and you can do whatever you want, and you don't have to go to school, and you don't have to do that. I mean, yes, you think that not going to school is like a punishment. No, from a lot of kids, it's like, oh, thank God I don't have to go to school. I didn't want to go to school. I know lots of people didn't want to go to school. I went to school, That's fine. You can go on. That's fine. Anyway, all right. So, all right, guys. So the thing is that is grooming though, and she's being taught to. It's a reward system that she is being taught, and the rewards just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I think the conversation that I'm thinking at some point transpired is if you sit in this chair and you do what I say, we can do anything you want and go anywhere you want. And sometimes, I mean, for a family that's what they do, I mean, it was just second nature to say, yeah, let's do it. And she did reap benefits for it, guys. She got to do anything she really wanted. Did she live a normal life? No, no, no. She was. Okay, you're out. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you right now. So put user in timeout. Oh, well, every time I try to put somebody in timeout, it says their bans and their comments were removed. Well, fine. If you don't want to hear what I have to say, then don't be here. You're not going to sit here and debate this with me. You don't have to send sunshine and roses up my butt either. If you just don't like what I have to say, either leave or be quiet and at least watch what I have to say and report back to whoever you want to report back to that I'm saying things that you don't like. Okay? Because that's how I'm going to do it. Oh, good God. All right. I already get distracted enough, guys. Good Lord. All right, so I'm trying to get to the part where she gets up and stands up.
And
You can see she's swinging her legs, guys.
And find out inside scoops about different things. And
the other thing is she didn't sit in the wheelchair the entire time, or she would not have muscle mass in her lower extremity.
The animal kingdom, I wanted to make sure that the animals were being treated right. So I asked him, I'm like, are the animals happy here? Or, are they happy like they would be in the wild, basically? And they're treated very, very good here, and they do have.
Yeah, we saved up one time. We took a tax return with our kids, and we went.
Disney World.
I know.
Africa to build.
Okay, we went one time. It cost my family of 5, and we had a friend who gave us a timeshare to stay in. It cost us almost $10,000 when we were there to go to all of it and do it. And it was extremely, we took a tax return. We took 2 tax returns actually to take our kids one time in 10 years that we ever went on a vacation ever anywhere. That's how much it cost to go to Disney World. I saved up for years to be able to go.
Really?
Okay, let me see here if boom, boom, boom. So she's acting out more there. Let's see.
Top at the very center. There's a weak spot.
All right, she's talking. Oh, wait. She gets up. Here she is. Let's see if she's getting up.
And it's big things. So say if I was right here.
See, there we go.
And here looking up, that would scare me.
But she could never do that before, folks. Never once.
No. I've been to Kansas City so much that because my hospital was there.
That's the only time.
Specialists. And I go for dermatology and different things like this.
Dermatology, guys. Dermatology. That's what she's going for.
Weeks at a time in Kansas City, and we would have the bad stuff, which would be the doctor's appointments, and then the good stuff, which would be the fun stuff, like going to the plaza, and it's just basically a bunch of expensive.
You're going to see that even more, Lizzie, as she starts to account for other things that she knows that she's lying about. She does it with such ease and with such calculation. And as far as a second grade education, okay, so she wasn't given formal schooling. No, she was not, but she was schooled. She was educated. She had the internet. She was able to use it on a regular basis and access it. And she was schooled by a very skilled person. She read books. She learned, and they weren't just little fairy tale books. She's telling you she sat and read Harry Potter. She read, that's a hard book to read for somebody with a second grade education, guys. No, she didn't go to school. That doesn't mean she wasn't schooled at home. Was she being taught how to count? I don't know, but she was being taught very, 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 very ingrained skills, and she will never, without getting serious amounts of help, and even then it will have to be a very conscious decision for her to be able to stop. She does have higher than average linguistics, absolutely, for a girl who thinks she's very sheltered. She also does it when she's speaking to him. She speaks to him in a lot of ways that he does not understand when he is speaking with her. Now, he has a very large vocabulary as well, but he misses a lot of the cues, and she talks over his head a lot.
Shops.
Basically, she's going to tour guide for him a little longer. She's going to sleep a little longer, so I'm going to scrub on through till we get to the investigator now, guys. Sorry, guys, that was my next door neighbor who woke me up at 5 o'clock this morning, bumping his radio outside. He came to apologize. Sorry, I'm trying to calm him down, guys. All right, so back to sleeping. As you can see, he's sleeping. Rowdy, please stop barking. Back to sleeping. Let's see if I can get over here to where oh, here he is. Okay. I'm going to mute real quick until I get to that spot. Oh, for crying out loud.
Hey, Gypsy, this is Stan.
Hi, Gypsy.
Let you guys
Hi.
talk.
I'm Detective Hancock. I'm with Green County Sheriff's Office. How are you today? Good. Doing all right? Good. Good. All right. Well, Gypsy, I'm here and I'm going to get a little bit of information from you. So, since this is the first time I've ever met you, okay? So, what is the correct spelling of your first name?
It's Gypsyrose. And my middle initial is A.
Okay.
And my last name is Blanchard. Blanchard is Blanchard.
Blanchard. Okay, with an E. Okay. All right. And your date of birth, Gypsy?
Is 7/27/1995. On here they have 91 because let me make this a long story, but
Okay, sure.
All right, so you're right. Did you notice that she leans forward real quick and she almost touches him? Because she's going to tell him a story and she wants him to believe her. She's going to tell him a story and she wants him to believe her. That's what she's doing. Okay? It's an innocent thing for some people. Rowdy, please stop. Thank you. I know that you're protecting me. I appreciate it. Lay down, please. Thank you. Lay down. So, I'm sorry, my dog has separation anxiety. It drives me absolutely nuts. Anyway, so she leaned forward. Now, natural people lean forward too, but people who are manipulating you and trying to tell you a story. 23. She was 23 when she was charged, S.L. Connolly. Rowdy, stop, please, so I can speak. So she's leaned forward, and I want you to watch exactly how fast and easily she gives this story, guys. It is not something that she is questioning. It is not something that she has to make up. It is something that she knows the story so well of what has happened, and she knows how old she was, guys. She knows at this point how old she was at this exact time. By her own admission, she knows. But I also want to let you know she didn't leave the bayou with her family where she was celebrating birthdays, and we have videos of her doing so until she was 15 years old, S.L. Connolly. 15 years old. And she didn't land in Springfield, Missouri at the beginning. She went to Kansas City. Then she went to Aurora for 2 years, where there are no medical records for 2 years of any sort, of any kind. And by her own admission, she lived a normal life. And then she landed in Missouri in I don't remember, when she was 17 years old. When she was 17 years old is when they came to Springfield. Okay? All right. Yes, she knows her actual age. Watch how easily this comes out.
Me and my mother are Hurricane Katrina survivors.
Okay.
And my birth certificate was washed away in Katrina.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they messed up. A long time ago, they messed up the paperwork, and it said 1991, but it's actually 95.
Okay. And that puts you at how old then?
I would be really 19, but on here it's my Medicaid. My medical insurance has 23.
Okay. All right. So how old actually are you? Let's get that.
19.
19. Okay.
Social Security.
Yeah, absolutely. Gypsy, do you know your Social Security number?
Unfortunately, I don't. I brought my card with me.
Oh.
Okay, so how old was she when her age was changed? All right, so in the records from Louisiana that we do have, because they were not lost in Katrina, okay, we are missing two specific doctors. One of them, I believe, is the doctor that helped Dee Dee do all of this. But the other is a family doctor, who I have been told is, well, I can't say. I'll just leave it at that. I've been told some things. I don't have her files though, so I can't verify, and I'm not going to disparage somebody just because somebody said something like that. But it's questionable at best, I guess. At least this person that is close to the family has told me. So I don't know, but the thing is that her age doesn't start changing like that until she lands in Missouri, in Kansas City, at 15, and she went and told the person in the Superdome. She is who sought out the person in the Superdome. She is the one who told them her story, and she is the one who took her she is the one that ended up taking them and getting them the Angel flight to Missouri, where lo and behold, the doctor that has been treating her since she was 4 years old just happens to be, guys, the doctor that I don't have the files for Louisiana. Now, I do have his files for Missouri, even though he tried to not release those to her. So, she claims that doctor, she spent time with him at his house having dinners, and from what I understand from this criminal prosecuting investigator that I spoke with, that is not unusual in these types of situations. So again, it's just such a convoluted mess. But anyway, the age didn't start changing until she actually got to Missouri. That's when the age went all bonkers, all over the place. It wasn't like that before. It wasn't. And she didn't have the same kind of treatments and surgeries and things like that down in Louisiana either. The fraud really ramped up when she was 17 years old, living in Springfield, Missouri.
Okay.
It's at my boyfriend's house.
Okay, we'll get with that later then. All right. Now, how long have you actually lived there in Missouri?
in Missouri since 2006.
2006.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you work anywhere?
No,
Okay. All right. You ever had work since you've been in Springfield? Did you work down in Louisiana or anything?
no, sir.
Okay. Do you have family down in Louisiana?
I have some, but unfortunately we're not on good speaking terms.
Okay. All right. And now, do you have any family here in Missouri? I'm sorry, we're in a different state. So.
Okay. I have.
Yes, it did. It did exactly. That's when all the dental surgeries happened, and I've got some information about that. I believe it was just poor dental hygiene on that, honestly. I don't think the salivary glands were actually removed. They definitely got a bunch of Botox and may have been reduced, but I don't think they were actually removed. Um, I mean, these are the things that are in the files, but here's the funny thing: is they're so inaccurate. I honestly, I can't even validate that anything actually happened except the thing that I know that she has, which is the Mickey tube. She definitely had that put in. She definitely doesn't have teeth, so I can prove that that happened to her. She had ear tubes, so okay, but that could just be something that children need. My daughter needed them, so my grandson needs them. He's 3. So, and my daughter needed them several times. So that's normal. The muscle biopsy was the last thing she had done in Katrina, which is where they got the diagnosis that Gypsy Rose Blanchard does not have muscular dystrophy. And I will pull those are out. Those are going to be one of the first things that I actually bring out to show for you guys to have. Ear tubes are common. She had a lot of eye surgeries. Now in the eye surgeries, they do actually in those identify her specifically as malingering, Gypsy, not Dee Dee. They say that Gypsy herself is malingering and could be causing the results to be false. There's another time where she's actually pooling spit in her mouth to show that she's salivating heavily. These are things that she had to do herself. And granted, again, all from grooming. But what I'm trying to tell you is there's more to the story than meets the eye, guys, and it's very scary that people are really giving her fame and fortune and such attention because it's everything she wants, and now she doesn't have to scam people and all of that anymore. She just gets to lie because 2 can keep a secret when one of them is dead. And she can say anything she wants about what went on behind those closed doors. No one knows that there is absolutely no evidence of any type of physical child abuse in that type of way. And every expert that I have talked with has questioned it because you just can't trust anything she says. It is not her fault. It's why I have tried in every which way I can to make excuses for her. The person I cannot make excuses for is her stepmother, her father, her aunts and uncles that knew, the doctors, and Dee Dee. I cannot make excuses for them at all because they know, they knew, they know, they have perpetuated it. They looked the other way. They did not, they failed to protect a child. That's it. They did. They failed to protect her. Absolutely. It doesn't make her any less dangerous. Okay, let's keep going here. We're going to get through just maybe, let's see. I might be able to hang on with you guys for about another 30 minutes, and then I will schedule to do another one of these. Either I'll try to see if I can get back into here tomorrow or the next day, guys. Okay, let me see here. All right, let's keep going though.
My mom that lives in Missouri.
Okay. And is that it, or do you have anybody else?
Does friends count or not really?
No, like biological, like brother or sister, siblings, nothing like that. Okay, so are you an only child then? Okay, all right. What's some things that you like to do? I mean, what kind of hobbies do you like?
I love art.
Guys, she knows she's not an only child. She shook her head yes right there. She knows she's not an only child. She knows she has a brother and a sister. She talked to them. They were on their way to visit her at one point in time, and they weren't answering the phone, and she didn't. They were worried, and Dee Dee always just they would be on their way, and then Dee Dee would not answer the phone. I'm sorry if I was on my way to see my kid, my disabled child, and she didn't answer the phone. I knew I was coming. I think I'd continue on to Missouri to see what's going on with my child. He never once filed for any type of visitation. The only time he ever took her to court was to dispute fraudulent charges that he felt was not a medical fraud because he felt that it was being covered by Medicaid, so why should he have to pay for it? Oh wait. So could that possibly have been medical fraud at that time too? Do you see where I'm going, guys? I'm not crazy. I mean, I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy.
To go to the movies. I love animals. Just different things like that.
Well, Gypsy, we are here investigating something, so I do need to talk with you about some things, okay?
I'm thankful because I have no idea why I'm here.
Okay.
Nobody will tell me anything.
Yeah, that's fine. And that's kind of why we're here, to kind of help you out with that, okay? So, I am going to just read your Miranda just here real quick, okay? And as I'm reading this, if you don't understand something, I want you to stop me and say that you don't understand, okay? It's not being rude, it's not implied or anything, okay? And just let me know. How much schooling do you have?
Unfortunately, I was homeschooled, but my education is kind of scattered, so I have the basic of a third grader.
Okay. Do you know how to read and write okay and everything? Okay, good.
Not so much spell very good, but I could read.
Okay. How would you say your comprehension level is?
Good.
Good. Okay. Okay. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right.
Okay. Now, yeah, not only is there those two children. Now, I don't think she knew about this fourth child that there is, but there is a child that is in between Gypsy and Dylan, which is Christy's son, Christy and Rod's son together, and Mia, who is the baby, that is Christy and Rod's daughter together. There's a fourth child. I don't remember if she's 4 or 5 months older than Gypsy or 4 or 5 months younger than Gypsy, but she is her mother is one of the girlfriends that he was dating in high school at 17 as well. And at a certain point in time in that little girl's life, her mother remarried, and Rod really hadn't been very much in her life because Christy didn't let that happen anywhere. And so Christy convinced him to go ahead and give up the rights to that child too, because it was the best thing for that child. Well, sure, it was the best thing for that child when she was making sure that he was never there for that child. Christy didn't care about Gypsy back then. None of them cared. It's not that they didn't want to take care of her, they didn't want to be bothered. She was too happy. She wanted her life, her children. It's all been about that. That's what Christy is. Christy is for Christy. Which is why I say that she is now just manipulating Gypsy the same way that Dee Dee did it. And they're just going to continue on. And Gypsy is already talking about children. And it's very dangerous what is going to happen here in just a little bit, guys. It's really, really, it could be very dangerous for a lot of people.
Right to talk to your lawyer, have your lawyer present with you or you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be going to represent you before any question if you wish.
Okay, I want you to remember that. He very plainly tells her that she can have a lawyer, that she doesn't have to talk to them. He reads her Miranda rights, and she understands them, guys. She is smart enough to understand the Miranda rights. All right? She's not incapacitated enough that she doesn't understand these Miranda rights. But I really want you to remember, because at the end of all of this, I'm going to play a little clip that isn't part of this interrogation. It's part of her interrogation, but it's a clip that ended up getting added on at the very end. And one of my friends that I know was able to get it when she put in her FOIA request, and so it's on her channel, but it's on our actual playlist as well. So it's an extra like bonus amount, and I want you to remember that he does tell her very plainly she can have a lawyer this entire time. Okay, here we go again.
You can decide at any time to exercise his rights, not answer any questions or make any statements. Did you understand everything that I read you? Okay. Do you have a cell phone number?
No.
No, not at all. Did you have a home phone?
My mom's home
Okay,
phone.
what's that number?
417 833
Okay.
8501.
501. Okay. Do you ever do anything on the computer? Do you ever play games or anything on the computer? Do you ever mess with the computer or anything like that?
I don't really have a computer.
Okay.
No.
Did you ever have a cell phone that you played around on or anything like that? No?
Okay, and the reason he's asking these questions, guys, is he's already got the cell phone. He's already got the laptop that she was arrested with. So she's already striking out with him right here. So they talk about, a lot of people criticize the way he's actually doing what he's doing. It's very much the Reed technique. It's taught. It's the absolute way that both of the investigators use it in their investigation. It's a tactic. It's one of the most common ways of questioning. But he gets criticized for not letting her talk a lot. But he is trying to keep her on the right path and not be distracted by all the little stories that she wants to take him on. She wants to take him on all these stories, and he already knows that those stories are not true. He knows. I don't believe at this point in time that he has the text messages yet. This is the one thing that Gypsy Rose was not expecting. She thought that the text messages, when they were deleted, would not be found. And at this point in time, he's going to go out and she's going to realize that he now has looked at the text messages and she now has to change her story. And she does. So let's keep going with her little innocent. I'm totally innocent and I don't know why I'm here.
No laptop or cable
My
fire or
mom
anything?
didn't let me use mine because she was like, it's unsafe. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did she feel like that was unsafe?
My mom tended to be overprotective.
Okay. Does she?
But,
All right. It's understandable.
I want you to notice she used the word tended and was. That's past tense. That's giving away that they that's giving away that they know that the person is already gone. They're talking that them in past tense.
I want to tell you that what I've got to talk to you about. If you're involved in this, you need to tell me that now. Okay.
I was muted. Okay. All right. So let me point out. I don't know how big my screen is. This screen is for you guys. I see it in a very tiny screen, so I'm not sure you can see her eyebrows here. But if you can see right here, her eyebrows are raised. Okay. That is an indication that she is ready to receive information from him. She's raising those eyebrows because she wants to know, okay, he's finally going to tell me what's going on. What does he know? Okay, so you guys can see full screen. All right, cool. So you're going to see these eyebrows lifting here. That's an indication of her trying to figure out what it is he knows here. It's not a surprise to her. It is a surprise to her of how much he does or doesn't know. And that's what she's trying to get from him. And what he's trying to get from her is the actual truthful information So they're both trying here to elicit information from one another. So she's going to mirror his actions. It's uncanny.
I'm completely 100% honest.
And let me talk for just a second, okay? But if you're involved in it,
I'm completely 100% honest. Remember, guys, in her own words, in her own special, she was taught to lie without conscience. And she's a very good liar. That's what she was taught to do. Those are her words, not mine.
yes, then you need to be honest with me. You need to tell me now and not wait till later. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want you to understand that there's just some things going on that you need to be made aware of, and I think that you're aware of it. Okay. All right. My concern at this point. Let me back up with something. Um, you're here. Do you know where you're at right now?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you at right now?
I'm at the Waukesha Police Department.
Okay. All right. And how did you lived in Missouri at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how did you get from Missouri to here?
Not about a week ago. It was it all started when I met my boyfriend Nick.
Okay.
Okay. And we met on an online dating website. My mom had a laptop, and so I used hers.
Okay.
But
Let me back up for just a second, okay? Earlier when I said let's be honest with each other, okay?
Mhm.
I'll be honest with you as long as you're honest with me, okay? And I want you to understand that your honesty goes a long ways, okay? You don't want something in this nature to be like a big snowball. We'll use that as an example, okay? You don't want that snowball to be so big that you know how when you pack a snowball.
All right, guys, full disclosure, I hate this freaking analogy, and I hate the pen with the eraser analogy. It drives me nuts. Yeah, I know. She just said before she didn't know about computers. Exactly. The thing is Gypsy tells on herself a lot because she doesn't have the guidance right here in the people. When people aren't around with her guiding her, she's not as good as she is when she is with people. Now she's being coached by some of the best people in the world to tell her exactly what to say when she's being interviewed. You know, she's got coaches. She's not just some random person appearing on a TV show. She's being polished for these shows. You know, and then she's got someone who, in my opinion, is much more interested in money than anything. Um, that's all she cares about, and that's why she cares about Gypsy, and that's why she's using Gypsy. She has mentioned that she has not made any money doing this. She has absolutely been paid over and over and over again. They've already been advanced $16,000 on a reality show too. So yeah, you know, but they're not getting anything out of any of this. Meanwhile, Nick is in prison for the rest of his life, which I'm not saying he should be out in society, but he definitely doesn't deserve to be in prison for the rest of his life. He should be somewhere where he could get some help.
Well, it's real small. And what happens when you start rolling it down the hip? It's bigger, okay? And what happens if you start telling lies? They get bigger. And you don't remember which ones you said and which ones you told. And as soon as that thing gets so big, it goes down the bottom of the hill and it crashes into a lot of people, okay? I mean, a lot of people, all right? And it hurts a lot of people, right? Because it's so big and crashes and hurts them. Now, if you're telling the truth, that's not going to happen. Is that right? Okay, so that's kind of why I want you to be honest with me about this, okay? About some things, all right? So we need to, I'm here, okay? Because I don't think that this is something that you, the intention wasn't there. You know, I don't think you're a bad person. I really don't. I think that you're a smart person, okay? I think that you, you know, sometimes you get dealt bad hand, and I think sometimes that's what's happened with you, okay? And I want you to understand that you need to be honest with me. And if you're involved in anything that I'm about ready to tell you, then you need to tell me, okay? Your mom's dead, okay? Now, what I want to ask you is your mom's passed away, okay? And she's deceased, all right? Now, what I want to ask you.
Okay, now you notice her eyebrows are not going up. They didn't go up when he said that. It wasn't a surprise to her. It didn't come as a shock. And then here we go. We're going to turn on the waterworks. We're going to totally distract him. These are fake, fake, fake tears. And I want you to see how fast and how quickly they turn on and off. We've already said that. Yeah, we already. All right, I'm getting rid of you this time. I guess it banned you now, hopefully. God, I'm so tired of people. Oh, it's irritating. Guys, all I want to do is to tell a damn story that I know, for crying out loud.
You had involvement in this.
I never even wanted to be involved. I didn't want to become part of the damn
Hang on,
story.
listen to me for just a second, okay? I want you to understand something, okay? Remember the snowball that we talked about? You remember the pencil that we talked about? I'm going to demonstrate something with a pencil here, okay? Look at me. Look at me for just a second, okay? Sometimes people are going along. You know how you got a pencil? You got the lead here and you got the eraser right here, right? You know what I'm talking about? You've seen a pencil, right? You've used a pencil before, right? Okay. And when you write with a pencil, you write your own story, right? Okay. And you take that pencil and you're writing along with your story. Well, sometimes some people make mistakes when they write stuff down, don't they? We've all made mistakes. You've made mistakes. I've made mistakes, right? You ever made a mistake in your life?
They are. Thank you, Z1Z. They really are exhausting, and it's been 7 years of this, and it's not just me. We've had a whole team at times. Some of these people have turned their backs on us for their own issues and our issues. Some we have been with us the whole time. It's been a nightmare. This has been a toll on me, my family, my children, my friends. My relationship with my husband many times was challenged through this. I have been stalked. I have been harassed. I have been cyberbullied. I have had my jobs called. I have had, it's insanity. So, yeah, it's been exhausting, but I am committed to telling the story, and I'm not going to allow them to silence me. I can either be the crazy woman in the room that tells the story, or I can be the person that shows you the whole thing, and you can decide which one I am, and it's fine with me. I don't care, and I really hope she does go on to live a fine life. I wish she was behind bars where she deserves to be, but I hope that she gets the help that she needs, and she lives a productive life, because what else can I help for? I know the truth, and that's why they started attacking me. And they timed it with an article about her first fiance, and they blamed it on all of that. But what was happening was we were receiving this information right at that exact time. It's all distraction with them, guys. It's all absolute distraction. Absolute distraction.
And I've made mistakes in my life. And hang on just a second, okay? When you're writing this stuff down, all of a sudden you make a mistake. Well, what do you do with that mistake? You take that pencil and you flip it over and you start erasing stuff, okay? And you erase it and you recorrect it. And you take that pencil and then you rewrite your history, your story, okay? And I kind of think that's where you're at with this tonight, okay? That you have a chance to rewrite your story. And I think that's what you can do, is you can rewrite your story tonight, okay? Like I said earlier, I don't think you're a bad person. I really don't. You know, I don't think that that's you at all. And you're not out here, you know, doing things that are so bad that nobody wants to talk to you, nobody wants to be around you. I don't think that's you, okay? But what I do think, okay, is there's some stuff going on that you and I need to talk about. And
No, I haven't made any money off of her like her family has. No, I have not. In fact, all I've done is spend money for the last 7 years to try and tell this story. I don't make any money doing any of this, guys. The only time that I've ever been paid to do this was when she speaks in monotone. She didn't used to. She's just tired right now, like I am. Um, oh, okay. Hold on. Ban user, delete the comments. Yep. Sorry, Katie Joy's friends are not allowed over here. So announce yourselves so I can get rid of you. Thank you. All right. So yeah, no. What was the question now? No. Jay Parker, I don't make money off of her like her family does. In fact, I've not made any money. I've spent the money. to tell this story. I have spent countless amounts of money to try and make this story get told. Um, I've shown up for 7 years without ever being paid for any of it. And the only time I made $200 when I appeared on the Reels channel in my first documentary that I did back when I was friends with them. I appeared with Mia Blanchard and Christy Blanchard, and I was friends with them. And so when I appeared, do you know when I found out that I was making money? It wasn't when I was negotiating my contract. The only thing I wanted was to make sure that I got a car so I wasn't stuck down in this little hotel area that they were putting me where I wouldn't be able to get any food. I explained to them that living down there, you just couldn't not have a car for the time period that I was going to be there for. So I was paid $200 for that appearance, and I got a car and a flight to fly out there to Louisiana. I flew in one day and I flew out the very next day. Um, and I found out that I was getting paid when I was standing in the lobby, getting ready to go up because I was the first interview of the day. And I was told by Christy Blanchard, "Hey, they're going to make you sign some papers when you get up there. Do you have your ID with you? Because you need to. If not, we'll go back to the room and we'll get it because you're going to have to sign some paperwork to get paid." I had no idea, absolutely no idea, no idea. So, no idea. Hold on, is this makes deeds? What the heck are you doing? You OOP, faithful. Okay, I don't know what you are doing, but I I think you can just go on. I don't know what the heck you're doing over there. Oh, I need mods. Good lord. Okay. Let's see. I give it a few more minutes, guys.
Why these things happen, okay? And that's where we're at with this, okay? Now, I want you to understand something. That you need to be, look at me, okay? Look at me for just a second, okay? You're in a situation where you can help yourself right now, okay? And that's what you need to do, okay? You've got to help yourself, okay? Because the more and more you let that snowball roll down that hill and get bigger, what's going to happen is it's going to explode. And that's what's going to happen with you, you know. You don't want that, do you? I don't think you do. I wouldn't want that. So we've got to rewrite history. We've got to rewrite some things, don't we? Okay? And I think that's where we're at with all this, right? What happened with your mom that night?
I don't know what happened with my mom at all.
Okay, you just listen to me, okay, sweetheart? You know what happened to your mom, okay? You know exactly. Sweetheart, listen to me. Let's not go down that road of taking your pencil and writing a bunch of mistakes down. And then when you get to a certain point, that paper's gone, and guess what? You can't erase it, can you?
No.
You can't erase it anymore. Do you want that?
No.
I don't think you do. I think you're smart enough to understand where we're at with this, okay? I think you know, okay? And I know that you know, all right? I wouldn't be here if I didn't know. And I know the answer to a lot of these questions, okay? I already know them, okay? I know them, and I'm giving you a chance to be honest.
I swear to God, guys, I know this is just me with my funny sense of humor listening to him tell her. I know that you know and you know that I know. It reminds me of like Jackie Gleason when they're doing I think he's talking to Norman. Norman, you know. And I think Eddie Murphy does it. I think it's in Raw. I love Eddie Murphy and I love Raw. And he does it where he's making that of from the Honeymooners. And I swear to God, you know that I know that you were looking at me. That's what this reminds me of. It's freaking hilarious. But you know, he does a good job of trying to guide her through this. But she's rock solid. She is rock solid.
With me, okay? Because you don't want this thing to spiral out of control. Okay?
No.
Your boyfriend's in here, okay?
Oh, he's here.
He's in here, okay? All right.
Yes, the Who's on First skit. Yep.
No, I know.
Listen to me before you say a whole lot. do not dig yourself in a bunch of lies, because what's going to happen, that snowball's going to get so huge, sweetheart, that it's going to explode on you, and you're never, ever going to dig yourself out of it. Do you understand me?
I understand.
So I want to know, okay, why?
Why?
Why did you guys hurt your mom? Okay,
We would never.
sweetheart,
hurt
look at me.
her.
Look at me. Look at me.
Mhm.
I've got kids. I've been doing this for a long time.
I know it's hard.
And I want you to understand something. Don't dig yourself that hole. Don't go down that path.
Do you see how she keeps hitting her hand down like this? That's her trying to make him understand that she's making a point and that she has to be telling the truth because she is doing that point. Okay. And again, these are probably just ingrained body language things that she's doing, but these are signs of certain things. And when you know that she's lying while doing it, we know that this is a manipulation tactic. And I love how she looked to the side to try to search for that answer of why. It just, he knew she was just about, because she looked off, he knew she was just about to tell him another whole thing. So he jumps in again with this snowball that's gonna roll down the hill and cover her up. Oh, I hate this analogy. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that.
Okay, listen to me for a second. You go down that path, and what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if you go down that path? It's not a path to go down.
If anything, I don't tell lies.
Okay, then don't sit here and lie to me, because if you do, what's going to happen is it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're not going to remember the ones that you've told other people. Okay, other people that I've probably already talked to. You understand that?
I understand.
Okay, now do you see? She was trying to get him. She was nodding her head back and forth. Okay, now I'm going to show you something that he did to get her to get back on path. He began nodding his head at her, and if you'll notice, she starts doing it too with him. It's a tactic to get them to begin to do the same thing with you, so that they relate with you and they begin to open up to you. I don't tell lies. Yeah, exactly. That's literally all you've done your whole life, sweetheart. And you're being given the opportunity, a prize of a lifetime, to sit here and say, "Oh my God, my mother has been abusing me for 23 years, and I know she's dead." And yeah, but no, you never even think about telling this guy this. She might have said something to the first officer that's out there, but she didn't think that officer was there to investigate her, guys. She was just chatting along.
Okay.
Getting sympathy.
Why?
Would you like me to start from the beginning?
I only want you to start from the beginning, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. And I'm glad you're making that progress, okay? I'm proud of you for that. But the first thing that we need to get out of the way right now is why. That's the biggest thing. You've got friends that love you
Of course
and
I
care
know.
for you.
I know, and they
You
don't-
and your mom
Yes.
have
of
friends
course.
that care for you.
I
And
know.
you know what? They're down the bottom of this hill with that snowball,
Mhm.
and they're asking all these questions. They're asking why.
I know. I know.
Now, help me give them an answer as to why. Okay? You have to give me an answer as to why, because they are so concerned about you.
I know. I have a lot of friends in Missouri. I know that.
Okay.
And I would never hurt my mom.
Okay, sweetheart, do you really want to dig yourself? You're digging yourself deeper. Okay?
No, seriously, I would never hurt
listen
her.
to me. Listen to me. Okay. I don't play around with that. Okay. I'm not gonna play around with this. Okay.
Sir, I didn't do
Listen to me.
anything.
Listen to me. Don't let that snowball get bigger, because that's what you're doing right now. Okay. You have a chance. You have the opportunity right here, right now. Because once I walk out that door and that opportunity's gone, guess what? It's gone. It's just like when that paper's taken away, when you're writing that pencil, you don't have a chance to erase that mistake. Okay. You need to, in your family, in your friends, you don't have very many family members, but you've got a lot of friends. And we've talked to them all, okay? And they're
Okay, he's about to mention a really dear friend right now. a person that she has said was her big sister, a person that she confided in, that she had a boyfriend named Nicholas, that they were going to get married in the snow. They were going to have 2.5 children in a white picket fence. And I'm not kidding you, the whole hit and shaboom. Okay. Leah is who told them that she had a secret boyfriend in the first place because she thought that maybe this guy came and preyed on her dear, dear little friend who is um, injured in a, and God knows where, and her mother is dead. But I want you to watch how quickly she turns on this dear, dear friend here in a minute.
Everyone want to know why. That's all they want to know. They don't. They still love you. They still care about you. Listen to me. Listen to me for just a second, okay? All they want to know is why.
Jay Parker, you're absolutely correct. It's a cycle of abuse, and she only knows the abuse of life. And she's planning on having children with this hubby that she met online. Oh, God, I can't even begin to tell you. It's not even. I'm telling you, this is a bad scene for her. She is still being manipulated and used to be somebody's cash cow. She has no one around her who is worried about her best interest, and anybody that ever does is shown the door by the people that are around her. Not the first person that has been shown the door. I'm certainly not going to be the last one that's shown the door. There are other people out there that if you go looking for them, that they have done things like this to them. um, just it definitely, and it all centers around the people she has around her currently.
And I have to give that to them because they can't sleep at night because they want to know why. That's all they want to know. Okay, that's all they're looking at.
Sure, I have a million questions right now.
Okay,
myself.
you know what? And I'm proud of you for wanting to ask those million questions. And you know what? We can answer those. Okay.
Okay.
But we got to get down to the bottom of why.
Okay.
Okay. The why.
You're absolutely right, guys. I'm sorry. I know I said I wouldn't respond, but you know what? You guys are making some great points here, and I just feel like I want to address them when we get a chance to. I can always go through this more. You're right. If Christy had any real concern, she would not be married from someone off the internet, says the 1Z. Right? You're absolutely right. That's the thing. Okay, so I want to talk to you about this video. Okay, so at the time that we received this video, it was exactly the same time that Ken, the first fiance, was around. And it was, I had been expressing for months that I was concerned about this guy, that he was a loose cannon, that he was mean, and that he did deceitful things, and that I just felt that he was really just somebody that it was scary. I even talked with the district attorney who gave me her opinion on men who date women in prison. I mean, it was crazy. And I was concerned. And I was the only one being like, hey, I'm so concerned. And I had millions of conversations with Christy, about her and I being concerned. And then the second that it comes out that I'm concerned because I'm being called because he ran his mouth and did all kinds of crazy things in response to something I said cheek and tongue to somebody in a private chat that someone shared that shouldn't have shared it, because I happen to I have no filter. I just say what I say. Um, Yes. And I expressed concern in Touch Magazine. The reason I did the In Touch Magazine, though, was because they were creating this huge issue at the time. And we were contacted by the New Yorker that was going to run with a story that was completely false about him having a completely alternate life. And so when Tori and I came out with that concern article, it was because we were trying to protect her. My issue has always been I wanted to tell her story. I wanted to help her. I wanted to help her understand. I wanted to understand, and I wanted to protect her, until I realized that this woman that I was protecting was not the person that I thought that they were, nor was the family, and I needed to get out. I put out this video first because I knew that Crime for Dummies already had it. She messaged me immediately. Have you seen it? I said, I have not. She goes, Fancy, when you see this, you're going to be shocked. And I was like, okay. And then I got it and I was shocked. And it changed everything I thought I knew about this case, guys. Everything. 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 Well, known scammers flock together. Clicker AK. Known scammers flock together. So, anyway, so they are putting out death threats to me. They are telling me all this, and it's all because this video was coming out. It had nothing to do with Ken. I had been expressing that to her. I wrote her a heartfelt entire email about why I was concerned and what it was that I was concerned for her about, because I was ingrained in this family for 2.5 years, guys. I spoke to them nonstop. And I have so much information that I could release about them personally that would be just hurtful. And they have the same kind of information on me. But I'm not going to release just hurtful information to release hurtful information. I'm only going to release the information that is pertinent to this actual case and what they are continuing to do and what they do to people. I'm not the first person that they've done this to in these groups, in a person wanting to tell their story and not agreeing with them. I'm not the first. There's lots of evidence of other people. And I heard the last time that it was annulled. That was the last time I heard of it. The next time that I heard was when she was being released and he was taking care of her social media account, is when I heard that they had not. And then I found an article about some run-in with Josh from The Bachelorette, I guess, contacted her, and he threatened him, and Gypsy threatened him, and there was a whole you guys go look for it, guys. Oh, they're never going to stop lying. They call me a felon. I'm not a felon. They say that they now are claiming that they don't know me or Colleen or Sarah, that I didn't sit in their living room. I mean, guys, the lies are insanity. The lies are insanity. All right, I don't know how to get this off the screen now. Let me see here. How do I? Oh, there. Hide. Haha. Sorry, guys. I haven't done this in so long. I have not been doing lives in a very long time. All right. All right, guys. Let's get through this where she throws her friend under the bus, and then we'll come back for this the next half of this another night, okay? Because I have to get my family will be here any minute.
And your friends are very, very concerned about you. They all love you. But guess what?
Sure.
Those friends are standing at the bottom of that hill.
I understand.
And that snowball
I understand.
is getting ready to crush them because they want to know why.
Things very, very clearly. You think that it's me? Why do you think that it's me? I have always thought my mom and I are best friends.
Listen to me. Please don't dig yourself in the soul. And that's what you're doing. You're still doing it. Okay. But do you not think that we've already talked to some people? Okay. Do you not think that we've talked to everybody? I mean, I'm not going to come in here without having all my things in line. Okay, I want you to understand that.
Of course, I understand that. And
we need to get to the why. When we get to the why, then all these other questions I can answer for you, and we can move on with this. Okay. And you're the person that knows the why. You're the only person that knows the why. Okay. And that's where we're at with it. You're the only one that knows the why, and your friends.
sir,
Do you really want to disappoint your friends?
no, of course not.
Okay, then why?
May I please speak?
Well, when we get to the why this happened,
I don't even really know what happened.
okay.
I came here because my mother kicked me out of my house.
Oh boy, and here we go with my mother kicked me out of my house and my boyfriend just came to pick me up and I don't know anything. The why is my mother abused me for all these years, sir, and I had no way out, and my boyfriend killed her. That's it. That's the why. That's the why, Gypsy. It's a simple answer, because it's a simple answer.
she and I were having relationship problems. I guess she wanted me to stay with her girl forever. She didn't really like my boyfriend.
And see, she's admitting she knew about him.
Pretty much. If you want to move to Wisconsin with him, fine, go. And I packed my stuff.
I'm going to be honest with you right now, guys. Do you see her body language here? Do you see how she's kind of, I think she's actually telling the truth here. I think this was a conversation they had. I think she did. I do think this happened. Do I think that she beat her afterwards or chained her to a bed? I do not. But I do think this conversation happened. And in thinking of this, there's a theory that we're working on, which I'm not going to share tonight. I'm just not ready to go through it yet. It's kind of a crazy, wild theory out there that my daughter floated one day, and we're just like, oh my God, what if? But I'm not going to do that. We'll talk about it when we talk about theories and things like that in our documentary, because we've kicked around a million trying to figure out what the end game of this all was, what Dee Dee's end game was, what was Gypsy's plan. We've tried. Okay, but I want you to see, this is where she's talking and she's telling him, we had relationship problems. Not my mom made me sick. We had relationship problems. I believe that. In the end, I believe that, relationship problems, because okay, I'm going to stop sharing the screen I'll just hold on. Let me make it so that it's smaller. I'm going to show you something real quick though here. Let me go back to this one. Is this one? Okay, you can see me in the bottom. So I'm going to go back to this last one here. I want to show you. Okay, so I showed you guys these folders and how thick they are when 2005, 2006, 2007, she's 16, and 2008 is back here. There we go. Okay, so you can see how thick. This is when she first gets to Missouri, okay? So it's not very much, 2005. I took a bunch of 2005 out. Okay, but if you look at 2006, this is when she's 15. This is when she first arrives in Missouri. In 2017, she's 16, and this is when it starts getting really big. I'm telling you, this is when starts getting up. Okay, but I want to show you, let's see, 2011. All right, so this is the final one. This is the one I wanted to show you guys. So in 2011, it takes up this much right here. Okay, that 2011, it all happened right there, 2011. In 2012, guys, she's 21 years old. From 21, 20, look. That's all that happened. That's all that happened. That's all that happened. And then she murdered her. It wasn't happening like it was beforehand. All right, I'm going to let you finish this out while I answer this phone call real quick.
She basically wanted me out of the house before then because we kept on having arguments. But I'm not a violent person. I'll never, ever hurt her. And a lot of our arguments stemmed from being with Nick. And so I just basically chose to come here. I gave him money to come here. And I said, can you please come pick me up? Because my mom's kicking me out of the house real soon. And that's when he asked his mom, could I stay with his mom and him and his stepdad and his little brother? His mom said, fine. So, anyway, I don't exactly know the exact date he came to Springfield, but I know that I gave him the money to stay at a hotel. And, anyway, I let him know that,
Hey, hang on a minute, okay? We're going in a totally different direction here, okay? We're going to get back to where we started from, okay? You listen to me, okay? Let's get back to the why. We can talk all night long about this other stuff, and I'll sit here and I'll listen to you, and I'll listen to everything. This investigation is very thorough, okay? And there's a lot of whys, and you need to answer those whys, okay? Give yourself. What about yourself? Give yourself the peace that you need. you need a lot of peace within inside of you. Okay, you know, once you get this off your chest, you know, you're gonna feel a lot better about yourself. First of all, okay, and your friends, okay.
My friends know me as a
Yes,
sweet
you're
girl
right.
and as
You're
I
right.
am.
But you know what? Sometimes sweet people make mistakes. Everybody does. Okay, you make mistakes. I make mistakes. But you know what? I'm glad you're not this person that's out here going around and doing this to a lot of other people. Okay, I'm glad you're not that person. If you are, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to be in the same room with you if that's you. Okay, but I think what it is, I think there's a lot of frustration in your life. I think that you're, you know, there's some things that you and your mom, you know, you've already said that your mom, you kind of had some arguments and you kind of had some strained relationships. Okay,
But we worked
and
through
you know
it.
what? And you work through it. You're right, you do. But sometimes that can get the better of people. Okay, and I think that's kind of where you're at with that. I think that you're stressing your life because your mom wanted you to stay so little all the time. Finally got to a boiling point, and you just said, you know what? I'm done. You know, no matter what, Mom, I'm going to go with my boyfriend. I'm going to do whatever I want now. You made that decision, okay? But we need to get to.
So, guys, he's already given her an out like a million times. I think your mom wanted you to be little for too long. I think that da da da. And she keeps telling him, no, that's not it. I think we should believe her. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. It's not my mom. They didn't get along, but that's not it. It's about a boy. It's about a boy. It's about a boy. It's about a boy. But more than that, it's that Gypsy knew that if Dee Dee was there and she just left and she would get left holding the bag for all the fraud. Is it right? No. Is it what would have happened? Yes. So instead of just turning her mother in, she killed her so she could go be with a boy. That's one theory. There's a couple others.
Why this happened to your mom, okay? You know what? People make mistakes every day. You do, I do, we all do. We've established that. And I'm going to establish it every time because you know what? That's what this is. It's just a mistake. That's all it is, okay? It's not something that's so huge out here. It's just, oh my gosh, it's a mistake. It's a simple little mistake.
My mom.
It's just a simple mistake is all it was, okay?
I don't know.
You know what?
I don't know.
You,
If I knew the basic facts of what is going on,
sweetheart.
my friend had
Yeah, but I don't think it was about
I
this
have
boy.
I do have a phone, but it doesn't call people. I just basically used it for Yahoo messaging app, and one of the people that had texted me, I had texted him that I was leaving home, and he texted me, and he's like, "Are you okay? People have been posting some stuff on Facebook," and I asked him what post, and unfortunately, the police came before I could even.
All right, guys. I'm wrong, but she never mentioned the abuse. No, she doesn't mention the abuse at all. No, never once. Never. Um, so, okay, guys. I'm not going to get to the part that I wanted to get to. It's just I can't even hear it. My heater's running, and there's a lot of commotion now that my family's home. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll stop it right here. And I will schedule another one. I'm also going to take this live that I've done and I'm going to split it up and put it up on TikTok in 10-minute increments for the last, hour and 52 minutes that we did this, so people can hear the inside story from this. Guys, I'm asking you if you believe in what I'm doing, if you believe in what Colleen and I and Sarah and the rest of us are doing, please, please share the hell out of this. Like it, smash the subscribe button, follow along, get the message out there that I'm not some crazy person who is just been stalking this family. I have the truth of this case, and it goes way deeper. And the people that should be really, really screaming from the hills, let's go look at the doctors, are not screaming from the hills, let's go look at the doctors. And I want to know why. Why can these doctors still touch other children? They can still be. There is a doctor that is the head of a hospital now, and he is one of the doctors. Guys, this is not okay. These doctors should have to account for what they have done, and how many other children have they done it to. I know, I know she's trying. Every time they strike me, though, guys, guess what? I file an appeal, and it's up within 10-15 minutes usually, again, because they cannot stop what I'm doing, because it's the truth, and I have every right to do so. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight and watching the Good Wives Network. This is part of our documentary series that we'll be doing. We do have a network that is coming to Roku, Amazon, and Android within the next couple of months. It was up before, guys, but we switched platforms over the holiday season, and we just haven't gotten a chance to get all the content reloaded. I was in the hospital quite a bit. So, the truth needs to come out in this story. We're also going to be covering the Lacey Spears story in great detail. So, and showing the contrast between these two cases and how they shook out. So thank you for tuning in. My name is Fancy Maselli, and you've been watching the Good Wives Network. Have a great night, guys, and enjoy your weekend.